Diamond Sutra Meditation Script, Finding Inner Peace. #, letting go of past and future minds. Hello and welcome to our time with the Diamond Sutra. Over the past 2 sessions, we've journeyed together from Buddha's daily life to the wisdom of giving without attachment, infinite merit like empty space, and understanding that the Dharma is not the Dharma. Today we're going deeper into an even more profound dimension as we explore together the realization of no self and no phenomena. No self means there is no fixed permanent self. No phenomena means there are no fixed laws or absolute truths. These 2 concepts ask fundamental questions about everything we normally take for granted in daily life. What is this thing we think of as me? Are the truths we believe in really absolute? These questions might feel unsettling at first. But through the wisdom of the Diamond Sutra, we'll discover that this actually leads us to greater freedom. Please open your heart and join me on this journey today. The path we're walking together isn't just about understanding concepts. It's about finding real peace and freedom in your everyday life. Just as a river naturally flows toward the ocean, let your mind flow naturally toward this ancient wisdom that can transform how you see yourself and the world around you. If childhood wounds or past failures are still troubling you today, remember that these are minds from the past that have already gone by. Of course, those experiences can affect the present, but they don't define who you truly are. Don't get lost in worries or fears about the future either. The future mind hasn't come yet, and when that moment actually arrives, it might be completely different from what you're imagining right now. Job worries, retirement fears, health concerns. Many of the anxieties that trouble us are really just our imagination about things that haven't happened yet. Don't get too caught up in your current emotions or thoughts either. Just because you're angry, sad, or anxious right now doesn't make you an angry person, a sad person, or an anxious person. These feelings are like passing clouds. When you feel depressed, try saying a depressed feeling is arising instead of I am depressed. It seems like a small difference, but it brings big changes. You stop identifying yourself with the emotion, and you leave room for that feeling to change. This understanding makes you more free. You won't get completely trapped by any emotion or thought. You'll have the space to watch them with ease. You can accept the changes in your mind without fear. The most important thing is being here and now, staying fully present in this very moment, not in the past or future. In that moment, you can experience eternity that goes beyond time. #, magnificent yet without magnificence. Buddha gives us another teaching through a story. The scripture says, Subhuti, if someone gave gifts using jewels that filled the entire universe, wouldn't the merit from this be great? Very great, world-honored one. Subhuti, if merit were a real thing, the Buddha wouldn't say the merit is great. Because merit has no substance, the Buddha says the merit is great. Let me explain this more simply. Subhuti, if someone gave charity with precious stones filling the whole cosmos, wouldn't that good deed be huge? It would be enormous, Buddha. Subhuti, if good deeds were real things that actually exist, I wouldn't say the good deeds are great. Because good deeds don't exist as fixed things, I can say the good deeds are great. Looking deeper, we see the Diamond Sutra's typical paradox here. Good deeds are great because good deeds don't exist. What does this mean? True merit doesn't come from thinking I'm going to build up good karma. The moment you start calculating and measuring merit, it's no longer true merit. Just like a flower is naturally beautiful without trying to be beautiful, real good deeds happen naturally without trying. This connects to the inner conflicts modern people often face when doing good works. When we donate money, thoughts like, what will others think? How much tax benefit will I get? Or, will good things happen to me later? Cross our minds. These calculating thoughts can get in the way of pure compassion. Many philosophers have explored this paradoxical structure. The Chinese sage Lao Tzu said, "Wu wei wu bi yu wei." By not forcing, nothing remains undone. When you don't try to force things, everything naturally falls into place. The German philosopher Heidegger talked about forgetting being. The more you intentionally try to grasp existence, the more it hides from you. Being reveals itself naturally when you don't try to grasp it. Modern psychology has found similar things. According to ironic process theory, the harder you try to achieve something, the more likely you are to get the opposite result. The harder you try to fall asleep, the more awake you become. The harder you try to be happy, the more unhappy you get. Flow theory also shows that peak experiences happen when self-consciousness disappears. When the thought, I need to do well, goes away, that's when your best performance comes out. What comfort can this bring to modern people? When you do good things, don't calculate the results. Let go of thoughts like, I did this much good, so I should get this much blessing back. Just do it naturally because it feels right to do. When you volunteer, instead of feeling I should help society, just follow what your heart is drawn to. A small act of help that comes from genuine caring can mean more than forced service. The same goes for pursuing success. Instead of the pressure, I have to succeed, focus on doing your best at what you're doing right now. Paradoxically, when you don't obsess over results, better results often come. It's the same with relationships. Instead of trying, I need to be loved, just treat others with genuine care. Don't try to force a good impression. Just show your natural self. When being a parent, instead of the burden, I have to be a good parent, just focus on loving your child as they are. Sincere care and love affect children more than trying to be the perfect parent. The greatest merit comes when you're not chasing merit. The greatest happiness comes naturally when you're not chasing happiness. This is the wisdom of life that the Diamond Sutra teaches us. # don't see Buddha through physical form. Buddha asks Subhuti again. The scripture shows this conversation. Subhuti, what do you think? Can you see the Buddha through physical appearance? No. World-honored one. You cannot see the Buddha through physical appearance? Why? Because what the Buddha calls physical appearance is not really physical appearance. In modern words, this conversation goes, Subhuti, what do you think? Can you see Buddha through how the body looks? No, Buddha. You can't see Buddha through how the body looks. Because what you call physical appearance isn't really appearance at all. Looking deeper, Buddha is giving us a very important teaching here. Don't judge Buddha by outward appearance. Even the most magnificent form with 32 perfect features isn't the essence of Buddha. This calls for deep reflection on how we judge people in daily life. We too easily evaluate people by their looks or first impressions. We think good-looking people must be good people, and we often undervalue people with ordinary appearances. In modern society, this appearance-based judgment has gotten even worse. Because of social media, many people think outward appearance determines a person's worth. But true beauty and value don't lie in how we look. Many philosophers have explored the relationship between appearance and essence. The Greek philosopher Plato said through his theory of ideas that true reality isn't in the world we sense, but in the world of ideas that we can only grasp with reason. The German philosopher Kant distinguished between phenomena and things in themselves. What we perceive through our senses isn't the thing itself, but just how it appears through our ways of understanding. Modern social psychology studies the halo effect and horn effect, how one positive trait influences all other judgments, or how one negative trait affects our whole evaluation. There's also something called beauty bias, the tendency to judge attractive people as more capable, kinder, and more moral. But actually, there's no strong connection between appearance and these qualities. What comfort can this bring to modern people? First, don't judge others by their appearance. Don't dismiss someone just because your first impression wasn't good. Take time to try to get to know their inner self. When evaluating colleagues at work, look at their actual abilities and character rather than their appearance or speaking skills. Some people look flashy on the outside but lack substance, while others look ordinary but have deep skills and good character. When raising children, help them develop inner beauty rather than focusing on looks. Instead of saying pretty or handsome, recognize inner qualities with words like kind, hardworking, or thoughtful. The same goes for yourself. Don't get stuck on appearance or external conditions. Of course it's good to take care of yourself, but that's not everything. What's more important is inner beauty. Accept that your appearance changes as you age. Instead of missing how you looked when you were young, focus on the wisdom and maturity that have deepened with time. True beauty can shine even brighter with age. When meeting someone to love, don't get caught up only in appearance. First impressions matter, but what's more important is their character and values. If you're choosing someone to grow old with, the heart should come before looks. Just as the true Buddha can't be defined by 32 perfect features, a person's true worth can't be judged by appearance. Practice seeing with the eyes of the heart. Then you'll discover beauty that was invisible before. # getting true merit where there's no form. Buddha finally says this. The scripture contains this teaching. Subhuti, if a bodhisattva thinks, I will make the Dharma magnificent, this is not a true bodhisattva. Why? What we call making the Dharma magnificent is not really magnificence. That's why we call it making the Dharma magnificent. Subhuti, if a bodhisattva truly understands the teaching of no self, the Buddha calls this a genuine bodhisattva. Let me explain this. Subhuti, if someone seeking enlightenment thinks I'm going to make the teachings beautiful and magnificent, they're not a true seeker. Because making the Dharma magnificent isn't really magnificence at all. That's why we call it making the Dharma magnificent. So, but Boshi, if a seeker truly understands the law of no self, the Buddha calls them a genuine seeker. From another angle, Buddha is presenting the condition for being a true bodhisattva here. That is, understanding the law of no self. Deeply understanding and experiencing that there is no fixed self. Understanding the law of no self doesn't just mean knowing theoretically that there's no self. It means actually becoming free from attachment to self in real life. It's becoming free from thoughts of, I do this, this is mine, this is for me. This can be a very difficult task for modern people. Growing up in individualistic culture, we naturally think with me at the center. But the Diamond Sutra says this self-centered thinking is the root of all suffering. Many philosophers have explored the dissolution of the self. French postmodern philosophers talked about the death of the subject. Michel Foucault declared the end of man, and Roland Barthes announced the death of the author. They tried to show that the modern concept of the subject is an illusion. Jacques Lacan showed through psychoanalysis that the ego is an imaginary construction. What we think of as me is actually an illusion created by the other's desire. Buddhist psychology sees attachment to self as the root of all suffering. Realizing that none of the 5 elements that make up our existence contains a fixed self, this is the key to liberation. Modern neuroscience has made interesting discoveries too. When certain parts of the brain are stimulated, the sense of self disappears or changes. This suggests that the self is a temporary pattern created by brain activity. Also, a brain region called the default mode network has been found to be connected with self-related thoughts. Research shows that when meditation reduces activity in this area, the sense of self weakens and people experience greater peace. What comfort can this bring to modern people? Gradually let go of attachment to the self. Release thoughts like, I have to do well, I need to be recognized, I have to protect what's mine. Instead, have thoughts like, I hope we all do well together. I hope everyone is happy. I hope necessary work gets done well. The more the boundaries of self expand, the greater peace and freedom you'll experience. When working, approach it with the mind, this work should go well, rather than I have to succeed. Instead of getting caught up only in personal achievement, have an attitude of cooperating for everyone's development. When loving, have the heart, I hope this person is happy rather than I want to be loved. Break free from possessiveness and monopolizing desires to experience what true love really is. When raising children, have the heart, I hope my child grows up happy, rather than the greed my child has to succeed. Don't project parental desires onto the child. Love the child for who they are. When participating in social activities, join with the pure heart, I hope society gets better, rather than the desire, I want to be recognized. Don't get caught up in fame or reputation. Focus on truly meaningful work. Understanding the law of no self isn't losing yourself. It's discovering a bigger self. When you let go of the small self, you meet the cosmic self. You expand from an individual existence to one that's united with the whole. This is the true path of the Bodhisattva. #closing today. Today, we explored the deep realization of no self and no phenomena through the third part of the Diamond Sutra. The teaching that even Bodhisattvas don't exist, the insight that even beautifying Buddha lands can become attachment, the realization that ultimate reality can't be seen even with the 5 eyes, the wisdom of the 3 minds being ungraspable, the paradox that merit is great because merit doesn't exist, the teaching that Buddha can't be seen through physical form, and the conclusion that you become a true bodhisattva only by understanding the law of no self. All of these teachings fundamentally break down our fixed ideas. The core of all these teachings is that there are no fixed substances. The self, objects, even enlightenment itself. None of these are fixed substances. Everything is like a dream phenomenon that appears and disappears according to conditions. But this doesn't mean nihilism. Rather, it means infinite freedom and possibility. Because there are no fixed substances, you can always become new. You can always change. Starting tomorrow, practice this wisdom of non-attachment in your daily life. Break free from limiting beliefs about yourself and fixed judgments about others. Don't cling to past minds and don't worry in advance about future minds. When doing good things, don't calculate the merit. When meeting people, don't rely only on appearance or first impressions. Most importantly, gradually step away from the thought, I'm doing this. The most important thing is staying fully present in this moment, being awake right here, right now, not in the past or future. In that moment, you'll experience true freedom that transcends time and space. Next time, we'll explore even deeper teachings of the Diamond Sutra together. Thank you sincerely for sharing this precious time with me today. May the wisdom of no self bring true freedom and peace to your life.